Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Toronto Blue Jays Career Sim. I'm JayBlue at Jays From Away, and you're watching on the General Manager Games channel on YouTube and perhaps other places as well, but for sure on YouTube. So we are here approaching the trade deadline in the 2021 season, and we're not doing too well. We're in last place in the American League East. We're half a game back of Baltimore for last in the division. 44-61. It's a .419 winning percentage, and we've been hovering around the same winning percentage for quite a while now. If we take a look at some of our team stats, we are really doing badly in hitting. Batting average, we're 12th. On base percentage, 12th. Slugging, we're 13th. OPS, 13th. WAR, we're 15th. WOBA, 12th. So, pretty bad in everything except for strikeouts. We strike out a lot, I guess. And base running, we're doing pretty well. On the pitching mound, also pretty bad. Starters ERA is 13th. Bullpen ERA is 8th. So we've had a good bullpen, or decent bullpen at least. Earned run average overall 10th. Hits allowed 7th. It's middle of the pack in a couple of categories here, but in general, home runs, we're allowing a lot of home runs. Probably some of that is due to Tanner Roark and Shun Yamaguchi being, through at least part of the year. Shun Yamaguchi's still with us. A lot of walks, too. Defense, we're doing okay, but zone rating, we're doing pretty bad. Defensive efficiency, we are not great. We're in the sort of middle third of the league, the American League. But zone rating, we're right at the back of the pack. So defensively and pitching-wise, again, not bad. So what's that adding up to? That's adding up to a bad season and a bad team. So a lot of the moves I've been making have not been working out. Our minor leagues are also, if we look at our top prospects, it's very hitter-heavy, and the pitchers we have, it's really funny because the pitchers who are really the high prospects in the Blue Jay system in real life are not the top prospects with us. So Alek Manoah is down here towards the bottom of the pack. You don't see anybody like Kendall Williams, who the Blue Jays recently just sort of traded as a player to be named later. But Kendall Williams, Adam Kloffenstein, none of these guys are even in the top 30 in our prospect list. So the only guy who's really upwardly mobile is Simeon Woods Richardson, but everybody else here is either sort of a fringe guy from when the Blue Jays had him. Patrick Murphy is here at 20th. Eric Pardinho is still hanging around in 14th, but everyone else is somebody, Manoah here at 23rd. Maesi at 30th, but he's injured for the rest of the season, and so is Manoah, actually. He's 7 weeks, and there's probably about 7 weeks left in the minor league season, and as you can see, he's had a horrible season. 7.11 ERA, even worse than last year at the same level. So everybody else is somebody that I've drafted or acquired. So Paul Campbell, who here is, I think, pitching in the major leagues right now. Ian Bedell is a draft pick. Ben Hernandez is a draft pick. Jack Perkins was a draft pick this year. Ethan Smith from last year. Hagen Smith this year, and he's injured. So he's not going to be improving on that 54 ERA for a little bit. Kyle Bradish I brought in a trade. Camden Menacci I drafted. Carson Hamrow I drafted. And Antonio Saldana I drafted. So all of these guys are on the pitching part of the prospect list are guys that I've brought in. And the guys that were in the system, except for Woods Richardson, have really fallen off. Pardinho's not doing great. In his sort of first year back after his injuries. Patrick Murphy is doing okay. I do not like his strikeout rate at 29 strikeouts in 48 innings, but and his stuff is sort of coming in at a 45. And Manoah has been pretty much awful since this sim started. So yeah, that's really disappointing in that the actual Blue Jays pitching prospects have kind of gone off the rails. For our top prospects, otherwise, Nick Gonzalez is our top prospect, and he's doing okay with Lansing. He's in his second professional year. Not fantastic, but he is doing fine. Gabriel Moreno has been doing excellent. He's been outstanding for us. He is having way more power this year, and It's great to see. Great to see. He's never going to be a guy who walks a lot, so that OBP is always going to be dependent on his batting average. Luis Garcia, he's the guy we picked up in the Rule 5 draft. He's no longer eligible. He's played 73 games, so he's no longer rookie eligible or prospect eligible. He is eligible for Rookie of the Year, but I don't think he's quite at that point yet. But as you can see, he's doing pretty well in the major leagues. And again, I've said it before on this this vlog. He's 21. I think he just turned 21. 71 days. So he's been 21 for a couple months. But he's he never played above A ball, and he's not only holding his own in the major leagues. He's got a 101. He's got a league average OPS, and he's got 1.2 WAR in the major leagues at the age of 21. So that's absolutely fantastic for him. Aurelius Martinez, he's injured right now. He was coming along actually quite nicely in his second attempt at Vancouver, and that's probably going to wipe out his season, that torn thumb ligament. Esteven Machado is, again, a holdover from the Bluejays, the real Bluejays. He was a international free agent signee in 2019, and so he's doing really nicely there in the Gulf Coast League. Alejandro Kirk, who just made his major league debut, and he's doing pretty well in AAA. But I'd say pretty well. He's putting up about the same numbers that he did in AA last year, so that's always good to see. He's just 22 years old. Jordan Groshans, his batting average is up to a very respectable place. He's up a level from last year, and he is producing at a much better rate. I don't think he's quite at league average yet. He is right around league average offense in the Florida State League this year. Power is still not quite where it is, but we're hoping that he heats up a little bit towards the end of the season. Leonardo Jimenez is not producing very well in Lansing, just offensively. Alfredo Chacon is just going crazy. He was our international free agent signing last year, and he is just bonkers right now. 384 average in the Gulf Coast League. So I'm thinking of promoting him. It's about time. He'll get a month in Bluefield. So I'm actually going to do that right now. Alfredo Chacon, we're going to send him to Rookie League Bluefield. And then we've got Miguel Giraldo, who is disappointing a little bit in his second crack at Lansing. Desant Brown is in Vancouver and is not doing all that well. And remember, he doesn't have a lot of power, and so he's going to be very dependent on that batting average and OBP to get on base, to be able to steal bases and make use of that speed. Grant Richardson is this year's draft pick, one of this year's draft picks, and he is in his first year. He's 22, so I wanted to put him in Vancouver. He is struggling, but you can't really tell much about a player's first year in the pros. Jose Rivas is a international free agent the Blue Jays have had in the system for a while, and he's been doing very well in Vancouver, but he's injured right now. Otto Lopez, struggling in his second crack at Dunedin. He's actually putting up almost identical numbers, just a little bit less power this year than he did last year, which is, again, disappointing to see sort of stagnation in a second year at the level. And finally, Cole Wagner, another draft pick from this year, is struggling. He's only played a little bit, but I think he's also a pitcher. Yeah, he's also a pitcher, not doing well in either role right now. But if we look at his ratings overall, he's got some nice potential here and decent-ish potential here on the mound. So we have him playing both as a two-way player. I think if we went to his strategy, we'd say, we have him being used as a two-way player. All right, so that's our top prospect list and sort of how things are going. We're going to get to our sim. We've got Matt Boyd facing Jordan Montgomery and the New York Yankees, so I have a feeling that's not going to be much of a challenge for the Yankees. And we lost. And as we're coming up to the trade deadline, we're getting some trade proposals. They want to give us Starling Marte, and he's not doing well, and I don't want him. But they want Trevor Schwecke, who... he's fine, but he's really not doing very much this year. And Victor Arias, who is in his second year in the Dominican Summer League and probably should get a promotion. And we also have another one. They want Alfredo Chacon, who, again, not going to happen. Antonio Senzatella, yeah, he's okay. I'm not crazy about the 45 stuff. The 45 stuff doesn't do it for me. So they're asking for way too much. And I do want to just make sure that Alfredo Chacon, yeah, he is scheduled to start in left field for the Bluefield Blue Jays right now. So that was a loss. We lost 15-10. That's pretty ugly. Matt Boyd gives up a ton of home runs, and he gave up 2 in this one, 7 runs over 4 1/3 innings. Jordan Romano gave up a couple runs himself. Shun Yamaguchi, 1/3 of an inning. Danny Jimenez. Tim Meza gave up 3 more runs. Ty Tice gave up 3 more runs. And Wade Davis finished it off. Shun Yamaguchi came out because he was injured, and seems to be not much of an injury. Offensively, again, 10 runs is great. I mean, this team has been struggling offensively. We got home runs from Gurriel, Danny Jansen, Randall Grichuk. Jansen, it's his 5th of the year. He's struggling in this game in his 2nd consecutive year of struggle. Bo Bichette with 3 hits in this one, including no doubles. So Danny Jansen also hit a double, so a big game for him. Randall Grichuk with a double and a home run, 3 for 5. Lourdes Gurriel, 2 for 5. And Randall had a triple too, so Randall was just a single short of the cycle. Luis Garcia, another couple hits for the rookie. He's bringing his batting average up to 294. And Forrest Wall with a hit, Vladdy Guerrero Jr. with a hit and a walk, and Jonathan Lucroy. We had Danny Jansen as the DH here, but Lucroy was 2 for 4. So Lucroy is being a little bit more productive than Jansen, thankfully. So now we get to face Garrett Cole with Sean Reed Foley. So that's one bonking by the Yankees, and I can probably predict another one. Yep, another one, but it was a close game. So we're getting offered Sean Manaea. Not bad. He's not a bad pitcher, but they want Gabby Moreno. And I mean, that's just, again, he's one of our best prospects. And Rafael Antigua. Antigua's fine. He's not really on the radar for prospects, but Manaea for Moreno, please. That's not happening. So, Giancarlo Stanton, formerly Mike Stanton. Stanton joins the 400 club with his 400th home run. He hit it off either Trent Thornton or Shun Yamaguchi. Let's see, who did he hit it off of? He hit it off of Thornton. So Reed Foley had a good start, 6 2/3, 3 runs, 2 earned over 6. I mean, that's a solid start, but Thornton just gave it up. Yamaguchi also was victim to the home run and the walk. 3 walks there, 2 runs allowed. Tim Meza and Jordan Romano finishing it off. Player of the game was Kevin Biggio, though. He hit 2 home runs, 2 for 3. And with his walk rate, he's actually up to a decent on-base percentage. So he has shown improvement over last year. And I think last year was when we were saying, we can't really sustain with him playing every day with the production he's giving us. But right now, he's getting into that sort of closer to league average territory. He's definitely turned around that 68 OPS plus to an 86, and he's got 1.4 WAR, probably from defense. Vladdy had 2 hits. Billy McKinney had a couple of hits. Luis Garcia, 1 for 4. Vladdy hit a double. McKinney hit a double. Bichette hit a double. And 2 hits for Danny Jansen. He's getting closer to that 200 Mendoza line. All right, and back we go. Another great pitching challenge on the mound today with Luis Severino. And I will, before we start this game, I am going to offer up Matt Boyd to a team. Where do I find that? So Amir Garrett needs to be sent to the minors. So I'm going to go demote to AAA. He may not have had the right to refuse that assignment. So trade screen. I'm going to try to see if I can, select a second team. I want to offer Matt Boyd around. Trade options, shop player around. So select shop now. I will. And we're fielding offers. I have a feeling there's not going to be very much out there for Matt Boyd. Usually the longer it takes to go through this progress, the fewer offers there are going to be for him. The longer it takes, the more offers there are going to be. And we see we have nobody who wants him. I'm going to try to retain 50% of his salary. He's not getting very much in salary, and I think that's not going to make much of a difference whatsoever. So yeah, we're just going to let this finish up. And, he's one of the guys, but we don't really have a lot of pitching. And I mean, while we were offered Sean Manaea, they were asking for so much for him that I'm just like, I can't give up Gabriel Moreno for, a mediocre pitcher. We've got mediocre pitchers. We don't need more mediocre pitchers. So we did win. Anthony Kay suffers a day-to-day injury, so he's probably going to miss a start. Hyunjin Ryu is going to be ready to come back soon, so that's really good. But let's check out this. We won a game, so that's fantastic. On the mound was Anthony Kay. He came out very early, and the bullpen cobbled it together. Wade Davis gave up a run. Danny Jimenez, team of 2. Jordan Romano with 1 run, but that was it. Ty Tice, Yamaguchi, Meza, Giles. Tons of guys got into this game. Now, Ty Tice was injured, and we've got a diagnosis pending. Kevin Biggio, diagnosis pending. And Anthony Kay, sore elbow. So this was a very difficult win. It was a Pyrrhic victory, I guess, if you want to call it that, because we've lost potentially 3 players. Now, Bo Bichette had a monster of a game here. Bichette hit he was 4 for 5 with 5 RBIs. He hit 1 home run, and he hit a double, so he didn't get the cycle. He had 2 singles as well. Billy McKinney hit 3 hits, and Randall Grichuk hit a home run. And Vladdy was 1 for 5. And Biggio was 1 for 1 before he got injured. Joe Panik was 1 for 3, walked twice, scored 3 times coming in for Biggio. So that was some nice backup work. And Jonathan Lucroy, 3 for 5. Forrest Wall, 3 for 4 with a double. So a good offensive game for the whole team. Luis Garcia was 0 for 5. Good offensive game for the whole team, but again, kind of a Pyrrhic victory. Losing these 3. We're going to check out the waiver wire just for fun. We've got all players. So we've got some pitchers here. Yohan Lopez. He's not bad. Interesting. What's he making? Oh, not bad. Minimum. He could be a decent bullpen guy. Can always use somebody. John Schreiber. Yeah, now he's been just bonked this year as a pitcher. Keon Broxton, he hasn't hit at all, pretty much ever, except for that 8-game stint in Milwaukee in 2020. Mark Melanson, he's pretty well known. He's making $4 million. Sean Rodriguez, a second baseman, not doing horribly. But that contact rating is just, unsustainable. And Jordan Yamamoto. But I am going to put in a claim on Yohan Lopez. All right. Here we go. We're going to be playing the Boston Red Sox tomorrow. We have to finish today because we had the interruption from the interview. So we did pick up Yohan Lopez. So he's now in our organization. We have a trade proposal. Center fielder Danny Santana. He's on rehab. Not bad offense here. I just want to take a look. And they want Jonathan Lucroy. So that's a very interesting trade. I'm going to have to look at that a little bit more. So Danny Santana, he's 30. He's making $4.5 million. He's just on rehab, so coming back. He's got speed. He's very versatile defensively. He can play both infield and outfield. His infield defense is not great, but he could survive at first base if he had to. His outfield defense is fine. Right field, best of all. His offense is looking very good right now. 95 OPS plus. He's doing okay. He's got some pop, but he doesn't have an eye. And I think for Lucroy, who's really just getting us through I would rather see if I can get a prospect for Lucroy. Because we're toast, right? So we might as well sell off what we can. But I don't want to go for a 30-year-old guy making, several million. So if I can get a prospect for him, that's going to be my ultimate goal. So we're going to go here. So they've got a shortstop named Maximo Acosta. And he's a young guy. He's 18. Good speed. Not a bad profile there. So Diobel Arias is a little closer, but he's very fringe in all of his ratings. So we have here a first baseman. He's been playing shortstop, and he's okay, I guess. He's playing an A ball. Not a lot of pop. He's not going to have a lot of pop, but he's still very young. And if I can get a guy like this for Lucroy, who has fairly good potential and could probably play second base for us, I'm going to put him here. And yeah, they don't even like that. So who would they want? They would want one of a pretty decent prospect back for him. So, I mean, Tanner Morris is here, and he's probably the least high-level prospect, but even he's doing pretty good in A-ball. So, yeah, we're going to leave this one alone. All right. So, we have Lance Lynn, Paul Campbell, ready, set. And it's a loss. Kevin Biggio gone for 4 weeks. So that's super duper, everybody. We are, and so Ty Tice is still diagnosis pending. He goes on the injured list, 10-day for now. Yeah, we still have 2 spots on our 40-man, so we don't need to do something there. Red Sox kill us. Paul Campbell killed. Danny Jimenez, a scoreless inning, and Jordan Romano, scoreless third of an inning. Everybody else stunk, pretty much. Yamaguchi gave up a gopher ball. Vladdy hit his 20th home run, so that's nice to see. 3 for 5 for Vladdy. He's hitting .320 on the season. And Gurriel, Grichuk, and Joe Panik had the only other hits for the Jays. So we're going to go to our lineups and depth charts. We're going to go here to the Buffalo Bisons. We're going to grab us basically an infielder. And the best infielder we have is Santiago Espinal, who has been up in the majors already. We're going to promote him to Toronto. We're going to just update the lineups. And we're going to go back to the Bluejays. Now, here is an interesting question. Luis Garcia, who is cold at the plate right now. We could put Garcia at second base. Garcia is a second baseman. Just as good at second as at third. And he's an extremely hard worker. We like that. We like to see that. So Garcia could play second. Espinal can also play second. So we have some options. We'll see what our so they want to put Espinal there. In the majors, Espinal has hit .275, .351, .363, so he hasn't hit badly in the majors. So now we're going to face the Red Sox again. Ty Tice, we're still waiting, and Yohan Lopez is now we have to put him somewhere. So let's go to our pitching. We're going to put him on the injured list for now anyway, because I figure, he'll probably have to go on eventually. And if he does not, that's fine. All right, we're going to delegate here. We have Yohan Lopez is now middle relief and probably going to get some innings. All right, another game against the Red Sox. Anthony DeSclafani, former Blue Jay prospect, versus Nate Pearson. And the winner is us. Ty Tice, oblique strain, 4 days, but he's on the injured list anyway. Hyunjin Ryu is now eligible to come off the injured list, so we're going to send him on a rehab assignment to the minors. He's going to go to Buffalo for that. Hopefully he'll be back after one start. And Nate Pearson was pretty darn good. Just one hit, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. And Yohan Lopez, in his Blue Jays debut, threw 3 full innings. 1 hit, 1 strikeout. So great game for the pitching staff. Not so great for Lourdes Gurriel, who got hit with a pitch and is bruised wrist 1 week. Bo Bichette with a hit, Billy McKinney with a hit, home run for Grichuk and Shaw. Luis Garcia had 2 hits. Hopefully he's busting out of that sluggish streak. And Jonathan Lucroy with another couple hits as our catcher. So thank you to our good friend Nate Pearson. And we're going to play the last game against the Boston Red Sox before the trading deadline today. And here we go. Matthew, we have a few trade proposals that we haven't seen yet. Trade proposer from Oakland. They want to send Chris Bassett to us. Chris Bassett, not bad. Is a starting pitcher. They want Justin Emmons and Josiah Miller. Now, none of these guys are super prospects. I'm just interested. Like our GM says this deal doesn't make too much sense. But if maybe we take off that's actually not going to be too much of a problem. Now, Bassett is making $2.8 million, so that's not too bad. His numbers this year, 6.19 ERA, 22 home runs, that's a lot, especially pitching in a park like Oakland. But we're kind of... at this point, I am very loath to send, to do anything really to get anyone older. So they're offering us TJ Friedel, who is outfielder, but they want Garcia, and that's just not going to happen. They want Jimmy Nelson to send us Jimmy Nelson for Jonathan Lucroy. And again, he's got a very high ERA. Not bad, but he could help out the starting. But again, we're not competing for anything, so I'd rather just sort of muddle through this year without giving up any of our guys. Yeah, so they want Lucroy and Nick Gonzalez for Tanaka. And again, the fact that we're just so far out of it is what's going to guide us. There's no way we're winning anything this year. So let's just muddle through. And we see here we've got Nate Eovaldi versus Matt Boyd. And we have a player update. Any awards? Bueller, rookie star was Wander Franco. Wander Franco is pretty darn good. So here we have the box score. Billy McKinney, 4 hits. Holy moly. Randall Grichuk, another home run. He went 2 for 3. Luis Garcia, 1 for 5. Forrest Wall, 1 for 3. Bo Bichette, a couple hits. Vladdy was held hitless. And J.D. Martinez was 1 for 4. On the mound, Matt Boyd, another 7 runs. Yohan Lopez gave up 3. He might have been tired. Danny Jimenez, Wade Davis gave up 2 runs, and Trent Thornton and Jordan Romano. And Randall Grichuk hit by a pitch, another injury, minimal 5 days, so he's just banged up a bit. All right. After this season, I'm wondering if we lose, we get to cut him loose. We don't. We have another season of J.D. Martinez. That decision is coming back to haunt us, isn't it? The J.D. Martinez contract. That's really troublesome. So that J.D. Martinez contract is hanging around our necks like an albatross. So I'm just going to go here to see upcoming free agents. I actually want to go to salaries. So this is who is on the hook. J.D. Martinez, and again, the Red Sox are picking up some of it. He's on the hook for $17 million next year. Hyunjin Ryu, hopefully he can stay healthy. Randall Grichuk is on the books for $9 million. Lourdes Gurriel for $4.5 million. Wade Davis, we have a team option. I might pick that up. That's not very... that team option, that $5 million is not... it's not horrible, and he's pitching pretty well. So I could see myself picking up that team option. Same thing with Joe Panik. I can see myself declining that one. Matthew Boyd does not have a contract beyond this year, so he's not going to get one. I will non-tender him. And then down for the bottom, it's less problematic. We have here Zach Eflin at $1.5 million, and that's guaranteed, I guess. Yeah, that's guaranteed. And yeah, I may call him up, especially in September. I may call him up. Okay, here we go. We are now into August, and this is going to be the last game of our sim. And Shun Yamaguchi is injured. These injuries are just piling up. Vladdy Guerrero has a day-to-day injury. I mean, wow, these injuries are just piling up. We've got, 5 day-to-day injuries on the Major League staff. We have 4 injuries here. And Hyunjin Ryu, he got knocked around in his first outing, and that's why we put him on that rehab assignment, so that he's going to get that crappy stuff out of his system in the minors. And we did lose again, so it was 9-4 to Boston. And anything good happened? Gurriel had a good game. He had a home run. Guerrero hit a double. That's about it. Pitching-wise, Sean Reed-Foley got banged up. Vladdy Guerrero got banged up. Sean Reed-Foley got banged up. Hamstring soreness came out of the game early, and it's really putting a lot of pressure on the bullpen. Yohan Lopez gave up another run. Again, he's probably just exhausted. He's pitching a ton. Tim Meza, Ken Giles gave up 4 runs. This bullpen is probably exhausted because we can't get through games without our starters getting hurt. Fortunately, they're all very minimal injuries. All right, we're going to have some super fun with Anthony Kay going up against Garrett Cole next week. Oh, no, that's going to be today. So let's finish the day. All right. So we're back to Monday. Our next game is going to be tomorrow with Garrett Cole and Anthony Kay. Anthony Kay has had the time to heal up from his little minor injury. Let's take a look now at the minor leagues quickly. Team schedule. So now we're in August. I'm going to go back to July. Go back in time. So the Bluejays were sucky in July, at least in that last week. The Buffalo Bisons, few wins here. So we're getting some decent pitching performances. Thomas Hatch with a strong outing. Yusniel Diaz with a home run in that one. 10-inning win. Spencer Turnbull had a strong outing in this one. And in a 5-2 victory over Indianapolis, Zach Eflin with a strong outing. Curtis Taylor, that's 2 outings in a row. He had no runs in multiple innings. And then into August, they lost that one. If we look at the lineups, again, Alejandro Kirk we don't want pitching stats. Alejandro Kirk is probably one of the better hitters here. He's leading the team in OPS plus. 10 home runs. Ryan Noda has 11. He's also got a good OPS plus. Ruben Tejada consistently. Now Cameron Eden is here. Now something's going to have to give. I've been trying to get Yusniel Diaz as much time in center field just to improve his rating there. Cameron Eden, not 100% sure why he's here. He was doing pretty well. I think we needed somebody because of an injury. But right now, I'm going to send him back to Dunedin. We are running out of guys. I'm going to send him back to Buffalo. Yeah, I'm not too worried if he doesn't get a lot of playing time. Okay, Sal Fasano has him as the backup DH. I'm not going to worry about that too much. But I will get rid of... he doesn't seem to be getting a ton of time in center field. Wrong. Set game strategy. So I'm kind of just gonna put it up for grabs. Who's gonna play center field? Let's see. What do you think, Sal Fasano? Sal Fasano thinks it's gonna be Yusniel Diaz, so that's fine. He hasn't changed his mind. On the mound here, Zach Eflin's doing okay. Patrick Murphy's doing okay, but not fantastic. Joey Murray, not great, but I do like the fact that he is getting into games in AA, or in AAA. Sorry, Spencer Turnbull, not bad. But nobody's really blowing me away here. And that's the problem, is that we need some more guys who are just, eating up the competition. And that's just not happening. In AA, okay, they lost their 1-0. And it was Elvis Luciano with a strong outing there. But let's go back to July. And really bad, 10-3 win against Richmond, 5-3 win against Portland, only 2 wins of the week. In this one, we had a home run from Griffin Conine, who's had 8 in AA. And if we look here at the lineups, Conine has no pitching stats because he has never pitched. Conine has 62 strikeouts and 180 plate appearances, so that's over a third of the time. But he has also hit .231 with 8 home runs. So, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Leading the team with 15 home runs is Gabby Moreno, who's got a 119 OPS+, but some of the other guys have really hit well. Casey Clemens, not a ton of power, but he's hitting pretty well. Christian Williams in a limited role, also not a ton of power, but he's hitting pretty well, hitting .309, and leading the team in slugging percentage. Cullen Large is got a 109 OPS+. Samad Taylor is cold right now. And yeah, very few guys here are really putting up numbers above league average, except for Moreno, Will Robertson as well. He's been hitting pretty well. And again, it's like some of these numbers are 6 home runs in 45 games. It's not bad, but it's not, mind-blowing. Christian Williams is hitting a ton of doubles, though. On the mound for the Fisher Cats, Simeon Woods Richardson is pretty much our only prospect, and he's really holding his own well at AA. I'm going to give him the full season because he's pretty young. He's 20 years old in AA, and I'm going to give him the whole season. Elvis Luciano is having solid results. He started off pretty poorly, so I'm really encouraged by the solid results there. Those are the 2 guys lighting it up. In the bullpen, we've got Brad Wilson really pitching well as well. Sean Weimer has a good strikeout-to-walk ratio. But those are the guys really lighting it up here, Luciano and Simeon Woods Richardson. Heading down to the Dunedin Bluejays, they've won that game against St. Lucie. Now, this team is really bad. We've got a .317 winning percentage. So this is just a bad team. Jordan Groshans with a home run, so that's really nice to see there. We're going to go back to July, and yeah, just 1 win in this week, plus the win on August 1st. Again, they're showing me the pitching stats. So Philip Clark doing very well in his first crack with the Dunedin Blue Jays. Tanner Morris also doing very nicely here. Jordan Groshans, we've got him settling at third base now because I don't think he's a shortstop long term. Solid numbers offensively. He's doing very nicely here. Otto Lopez not doing well, and nobody else is really doing well offensively. On the mound, again, the guys who are kind of holding their own, Alex Nolan, Gabriel Ponce. Ponce started the season in Lansing, and he's struggled since coming to Dunedin, but it's, he hasn't been here very long. Cree Finfrock not doing well. Will McCaffer, good strikeout-to-walk ratio. He's striking out a ton of guys, but his ERA is .488, so not fantastic. Daysbel Hernandez is probably the best of the relievers. Maximo Castillo back in action. And down to Lansing. Lansing, not a bad team. They're just under 500 so far. They beat Dayton on August 1st. And if we go back here, they had a very good week. 10-4, 10-4, 7-4, 7-5, 9-8, 10-3. So they're scoring a ton of runs against Dayton. Offensively, we've got guys like Angel Camacho in a limited role, just slugging the crap out of the ball. 10 home runs in just 28 games. I'm going to move him up to Dunedin. Why? Because Camacho may be able to light a fire under some of those guys. Nick Gonzalez, 114 OPS plus. He's got 16 home runs, so that's not bad. That's much better than he was doing earlier in the year. Miguel Giraldo is a little bit under league average, 7 home runs for him. Leonardo Jimenez, a little bit under league average. And not a lot of production in the outfield. Adrian Ramos, but not a lot of production here. On the mound, pretty short of guys here, but Joel Concepcion, not doing great. Too many walks, not enough strikeouts. Eric Pardinho I think he's starting to round into form. Still walking too many guys. Antonio Saldana is probably the best pitcher on the staff right now. Ethan Smith is also excelling. Ethan Smith was a draft pick last year, 5th rounder, and coming up from Lansing after a stellar start, coming up from Vancouver after a stellar start there. He's 22 and he's quite a ways away from some of his potential, and that bothers me a little bit, but it also could just be that it hasn't registered with the scouts just yet. But in 4 starts, a 3 ERA, 25 strikeouts and 4 walks in just 24 innings. So that's excellent for Ethan Smith, who's really bolstering this pitching staff. And Felipe Castaneda has been quite solid as our closer. Now, we could use some more pitchers. There's probably a lot of guys who are injured. Yeah, see, Kloffenstein is injured, Estrada is injured, Eisert, Winder Garcia, Austin Haffner. So all pitchers, 6 pitchers are injured. Are any coming back soon? Not really. Lazaro Estrada is the closest, with 2 to 3 weeks out. So this pitching staff is going to get worked a lot. We'll see what we have in Vancouver if anybody needs a promotion. So we have a lot of guys here. So if anybody is going to get a promotion, I'm going to do it fairly soon. In fact, probably today. Nathaniel Perez, Ian Bedell. He may be close to a promotion. I may put him up. Kendall Williams also not doing great. Jack Perkins is a first-year player. And Connor Santala is not doing badly. So I'm going to move up Ian Bedell to Lansing. And I'm going to push Kendall Williams a little bit. You've been around long enough, Kendall. All right. And that gives us 16 pitchers now. Brandon Knarr has been really good, too. I'm going to move him up. All right. And we're going to go back up to Lansing and just get our decision. So Pardinho, Bedell, Kendall Williams. So we got 2 new guys in the rotation here for the Lugnuts. All right. And so for the Vancouver Canadians, other guys who've been doing well, Keyshawn Askew has been quite good. Anders Tolhurst has been quite good. I'm going to move him up too. And it also leaves me some room to promote some guys from Bluefield as well. So Lansing, we've got 16 guys now, so that's going to really help out with the fatigue generally overall. In terms of lineups, we've got Holman, who is playing a dual role, not doing great offensively. Francisco Ruiz is very, very solid as our catcher. Bobby Seymour, very decent, I guess. 5 home runs for him. Tony Bullard, 5 home runs. But no walks really for Bullard. Josiah Miller is disappointing after a solid season last year. So not really a ton of great stuff here from the Vancouver Canadians. And they're 19-19, so not bad record. For Bluefield, offensively, they're 12-21, so they're doing pretty badly offensively. Alex Sanchez is doing okay offensively, but he's not playing every day. Lucas Cook doing well. He is playing every day. 2 home runs for him, but he's got 6 doubles. And 10 doubles for Steven Rivas. And Alfredo Chacon is our best player. Now, he has gotten off to a great start in Bluefield, in his 6 games, he's hitting .385 with a home run, 407 OPP, and a .769 slugging percentage. So he's actually hitting better at the higher level than he was below. All right, pitching-wise, this is where we're going to be looking for guys to promote. So Ben Hernandez has been doing okay. I'm actually going to promote him to Vancouver. Who else would like to be promoted? Hands up, anybody, if you want to go to Vancouver. I mean, Vancouver is beautiful. It's a fantastic city. I would love to go there. Max Reichich, you have won the sweepstakes. Everybody else, you're going to keep you where you are. So that weeds out a couple of pitchers, brings a couple of guys up. And so Alexander Ayala's not doing badly, but it's not great either. I'd like to see a little bit better. So that gives us a little bit, a couple fewer pitchers to share the wealth with. All right, here we have the Gulf Coast League Bluejays. They're 14-17. Philip Abner is hot. I think he's our 5th round pick this year. I mean, nothing is really stellar here. Nothing is standing out. Liam Norris is repeating the level, doing better. He's getting his walks under control. Roddy Sanchez is doing quite well. I'm going to move him to Bluefield. And Fernando Chacon. Brandon Smith is doing well, but he's not getting a lot of opportunity to pitch. Cole Wagner is pitching a lot. Now, he's one of our two-way players. Pitching-wise, but also hitting-wise, Cole Wagner, he's not hitting much. I just want to take a look, see where he is. Right, he is not. I think he's a better hitter than he is a pitcher, so I'm going to make him the right fielder. And it's funny because he's pitching way more than he's hitting. So I'm actually going to end this two-way player fun. Because, I mean, he's actually not doing bad as a pitcher, but he doesn't really have the upside as a pitcher. And so Cole Wagner is still, the problem is he's not really making the lineup. We have too many guys here. Now, if that's the case, we have too many guys here. I'm going to take some of the guys who are hitting a little bit better. So he is in the Gulf Coast League, not doing very well. Kalen Smith, Juan Pizarro, Robbie Ashford. So Robbie Ashford is doing pretty well. It's his second year, so I'm going to move him to Bluefield. Hopefully some of these guys will start hitting in Bluefield. Esteven Machado is doing very, very well. And so that to me means get him to Bluefield for the end of the season. Raquelvin DeCastro is hitting very poorly, so I'm not going to do anything there. Caden Grice is doing okay. Joseph Califat is not doing that great. And finally, we're going to take a look at the DSL Bluejays. 24-30 overall, and really the most important player here is Jose Villegas, who is our international free agent, and he has a very different profile than Alfredo Chacon. He is really struggling this year in his debut season, whereas Chacon was quite strong right away. And so that is going to be that for this week. Thanks very much for joining us. I'm JayBlue, and you're watching the General Manager Games channel. You can find me on Twitter at JaysFromAway. Thanks very much. Have a great day.